Hello everyone, MFPallytime here, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. As always, thank you guys so much for joining me. I actually have a lot to be thankful for. Our previous Let's Play of Baldur's Gate 3 was one of the most successful we have ever done in the history of this YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for showing up and supporting the content. I know Baldur's Gate 3 blew up way bigger than a lot of people were expecting, but this is a game that we have been following for a very, very long time. And our adventure is just getting started. In our original YouTube run featuring Zen the Dark Urge, we found Lae'zel on the Nautiloid, and because we had no memory of our life before that, I trusted Lae'zel the most, especially at the beginning of the game. And any advice she gave us towards helping cure ourselves of the parasite, I followed that to a T. Up until the point that my path completely diverged and we left the Githyanki story behind. This time around, however, the Githyanki are going to be front and center for this playthrough. I'm planning on keeping Lae'zel in our party the entire time. Astarion and Gale will be joining us as well, and maybe we'll see a little bit more out there too. Remember, we didn't even get a chance to interact with Gale because I cut his hand off immediately in the last playthrough. Now, even though there might be a bit of overlap with our story and Zen's at the beginning, I'm going to do my best to hit different story beats, show you guys new things I've found since our original playthrough, and hopefully just have a good time. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're looking forward to this playthrough. And here is our brand new character, Clark. Looks like we're just starting to come to. Lae'zel beat us, of course. But we're following soon after. If you couldn't tell from the character creation, Clark is a monk. That might seem a little weird if you watched our original playthrough, because of course Zen, my dark urge, was a 3 rogue, 9 monk at the end of the game. But Zen was a shadow monk. He used stealth and assassination tactics throughout the entire game. I am so confident that the classes in this game have so much freedom and will play vastly different from what we did before that I'm rolling monk again just to prove it to you. Looting these chests, we get some thieves' tools as well as some gold. Is there anything else in here worth looting? I should definitely check all of the bodies, if there are any more bodies. I think all of these pods are empty, but maybe something up here on this next level. There are some really good throwable objects that you can only get inside of the Nautiloid and a few other select places throughout the game. So if I could stock up on those right now, I would like to do it. That onyx isn't going to be anything super useful, but there is another chest hid over here in the corner. And in the beginning of the game, you don't have to worry about taking damage because these restoration things are very abundant and we can just heal up as much as we need. As we continue through the next sphincter, our path is already going to start to be different. Githyanki used to be enslaved by the Mind Flayers. There's a very big bias there, a lot of resentment there, and that continues to everything that is associated with Mind Flayers as well, even intellect devourers.
You've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation. You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the Mind Flayers who abducted you.
Please. Before they return! They return.
A pet gake scum. Destroy the intellect devourer while it is vulnerable. Well, we just got our hands a little dirty. I'm sure that's fine. For the greater good, of course. I gotta work on my Githyanki, rhetoric. Chika! Skval! What a view. What's going on out here? Do we know she's there yet? We got a hint of something. As the dragon flies over.
Abomination. This is your end.
Are we gonna have any Githyanki dialogue? I'm not an abomination!
Throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the Gith's eyes.
Oh, my head. What is this? Skvar, you are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
Lae'zel, a big fan of Vlaakith. Big fan of Vlaakith, huh? We need to figure out a way out of here immediately.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane. Taka!
Man, those things look so sick with the lighting behind them. So as a monk, right out of the gate, I have Flurry of Blows as a bonus action. This is going to use some key points, and I only have 2 at this level, but we're going to get a lot more as we continue throughout the game. For Flurry of Blows in the tabletop, I believe has to be used after an action. But in Baldur's Gate, we can, as you see, just go ahead with the Flurry of Blows and attack twice for 8 to 14 damage, whereas my weapon by itself only does 4 to 11. So we get the jump on that first of the imps and take them down very, very swiftly. We'll go ahead and end Clark's turn, send it over to Lae'zel, who's going to run forward, and with that gigantic sword in her hand, take down that imp in a single blow. The one remaining casts a fiery bolt from the far side of the room, but here we go. Clark moves in, and with a very swift hit with his staff, takes him down. I'm going to loot these guys really fast, and then we are going to be continuing up these meshes and climbing to the top of the Nautiloid. I'm also going to make sure I use this restoration pod just to get that key point back so I can flurry again later. Now that we're at the top, the path shouldn't be too far from here. The game is going to autosave, though. I hope we're not getting into too much trouble. As we enter the next room, I see a console in front of us, some knocked out, sacrificed cultists, and a pod that has some movement inside of it. I'm going to approach the pod.
Damn it! You! Get me out of this damn thing!
Don't waste time on Istik. We must go.
See, this is where I disagree with Lae'zel. I think we need all of the help that we can get. Look around. There must be a way to get this thing open.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
Okay. Contraption next to the pod. I'm going to touch it.
The console appears dormant.
Look for a switch. Hitting it does seem pretty appropriate for a monk.
The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first, but then you spy an empty socket.
An empty socket. Okay, we're going to leave that for now. On this other kind of desk, there is also an elaborate reliquary that is locked up, and I don't think I have a key for that right now, nor really the sleight of hand means to get that open. I'm going to proceed to the east, and we immediately see an intellect devourer coming this way. So as he approaches, look how much better I've gotten at the game. We just let it reach here, and then flurry of blows, and wouldn't you know, that's a dead intellect devourer. Ooh, and a gold key. I think we know what that's for. This is another Mind Flayer pod.
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
She doesn't notice me. Okay. Let's continue to the back of the room. There is another chest, a slave mind, and a dead thrall. From that chest, we get 2 potions. I think I can at least sell that mind thing. It's a bottle of nothing. Well, I'm going to try to interact with this console, see if we can do anything with it. Place your hand on the
As you
console.
place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
Oh! So that's what's at stake here. We're turning into that? Did I do that?
Change her. Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
I completely agree. We gotta fix that.
This cannot, must not be our fate.
Can I interact with it again?
The newborn mind flayer stares at you, weak and dazed.
Oh, creepy. Okay, I'm gonna take the Eldritch Rune off of this body. This might unlock the pod that was on the dead thrall at the top of the room. Now, I'm not gonna unlock this pod. That seems like it would be a mistake. However, Shadowheart's pod, we insert the rune into the socket.
The console hums to life. what is its purpose? Will it free the captive or transform her like that other unfortunate?
We're just gonna have to take that risk, aren't we? We do have an Arcana check to take a closer look at it. Now, I don't have great intelligence. We have a -1. I do have some knowledge, though. Some astral knowledge. Look at that. Okay, let's give it a go. Do I know what this is? I do not. We rolled a 3. Off to a great start, Clark.
The device betrays its purpose. It could do anything.
Well,
It could even transform the occupant of the pod, like what happened before.
well, I'm just gonna do it. If it gets transformed, it's locked in there anyway, right?
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
Oh, I have to use my Illithid wisdom? Okay. I'm gonna do it. We need a roll of 2. I think that should be more than possible. We get a 9, but this means we're using the parasite in our
You
mind.
feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Don't know how I feel about that. I do not know how I feel about that. Whoop! Hey, mind the gap. That first step's a doozy.
At last. Thought I was done for.
Clark is going to approach and lend her a hand and try to help her to her feet. Much better greeting than what Lae'zel gave me.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness because you're a Gith.
You're a Gith. Why did you help me?
Because we need to get out of here, and the more numbers we have, the better. A curious tone for one who owes her life to me.
Not so curious. I've heard what Gith are like. Still, you did free me. We both need all the help we can get. Let's try to get off this thing together.
I agree with that. Come with me, then.
One moment.
Clark's paying very close attention. What was that, I wonder? What was that? I'm gonna ask.
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
Well, because she seems a little more put together than these guys, I think I'm just gonna let them sleep. I'm not gonna push anything that might disturb them. That key we picked up earlier should go to this elaborate reliquary right here. And that's gonna give us just a little bit more gold for the road. But I'm also gonna take everything else that's here too,
Faint
just
images appear
to
in your mind.
sell it. And I'm gonna pick up that,
Githyanki warrior.
that was like a Mind Flayer
Centuries of
tablet.
darkness.
We're going to keep that with us. So, I have a plan to get a very, very powerful weapon in the next room, and Shadowheart is going to be very instrumental in getting that weapon for us. First things first, though, we're going to have to go into her spell book, let's just get rid of Shield of Faith, and we're going to get Command as a prepared spell.
We're nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Infighting already?
Yank.
I don't know what that meant, Lae'zel, but I liked the sound of it. Well, as we approach the final sphincter, this is the room where a lot of stuff is going down. Ooh, breakfast. Nice. Looks like the Mind Flayers aren't doing very well.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the Gale after we escape.
That seems like a good plan, considering I don't think we could kill a level 8 Mind Flayer as level 1 adventurers. we are going to see Clark move forward with a flurry of blows against the lesser Hellbore. Ooh, missing on the second hit. That's fine. That's what the staff is for. And we finish off the boar. With the rest of his movement, he's going to run forward. Lae'zel, similar story. Moving forward to attack the lesser imp on the left side. It takes it down in a single blow. And then we keep moving forward. As we end both of these turns, the Mind Flayer stuns Commander Zulk. And I know that we were told to leave, but this is very important. Commander Zulk has a very large sword on his back. And if we play our cards right, we could leave this encounter with it. So we have 2 chances for this to work because we only have 2 spell slots. But Shadowheart approached enough. She is going to command a creature to drop its weapon on its turn and do nothing else. Will that work? Yes, it will. And that weapon is now on the ground. We end our turn. Going to be a lot harder to fight back against that Mind Flayer if you don't have your weapon. Now, did I do that from too far away? Potentially. We are going to cast Dash on Clark and just run right over and pick that up. Just bring that with me. Now, we may incur an attack of opportunity here. No, he doesn't have a weapon, so I'm fine. We're good to go. We're just going to keep on moving. Meanwhile, Lae'zel is going to use her ranged attack on the lesser imp on the far side of the room. That's going to connect for 5, and then she's going to use the rest of her movement to continue running west. Leave him to me. Connect the transponder is what the Mind Flayer next to us is spouting. We're going to Sacred Flame the imp on the far side of the room. It does not connect for any damage. And then Shadowheart is just going to continue to run. Sanctuary may not have been a bad idea there. It would have protected me all the way through. I don't hate that, actually.
I think you can take.
So here's what we'll do. We'll move back, take down that imp, and then just kite forward a little bit. Lae'zel's immediately going to get involved in this fight because, I mean, how often do you get a chance to fight a commander demon? She's definitely going to take that opportunity. Mind Flayer with 17 damage there. That is beautiful. Now, as Shadowheart approaches, she is going to cast Sanctuary on Clark, which means he cannot be attacked. And then she is going to move up and Sacred Flame Commander Zulk just for a little bit of damage, and then we'll get behind this guy. So as long as Clark does not attack anything, he cannot be attacked unless it's an AoE ability. But we're going to use that to our advantage as we move closer to the transponder on the far side of the room.
Hurry, before they strike.
Hurry before they strike. More enemies are spawning in. Dash has already been used, and I'm just going to run straight down the middle. We shouldn't have to worry about attack of opportunity or really these guys even stopping to notice us at all. Lae'zel swinging on the commander yet again. 4 damage. Nicely done. We can try to pummel strike, too. That might make him off balance, but it does not connect. We see 14 more damage being done by the Mind Flayer. We're actually beating this guy up pretty good. I wonder if you could actually just fight off all of the demons here. If there's... we're not going to do that right now. We're going to see Shadowheart just swing her weapon. 6 damage on a critical hit. That's beautiful. As this cycles back around, well, we can't be attacked. So I think I'll hit the transponder.
The helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time. As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
Check myself for injuries. I mean, we fell out of the sky.
Other than the infection, you're more or less intact. A miracle, given everything you've been through. But it'll all be for nothing if you don't find help soon. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
We do need a cure. And as we are here by ourselves on this beach, we're gonna need to form a party soon. I don't know how far we'll make it here on our own. Luckily, Shadowheart is laying nearby on the beach. She wouldn't be here if we didn't save her. And again, what is that in her hand? I think Clark has gotten a pretty good time to tell what that is by this point. He's going to reach for the artifact. Hey!
What are you doing?
Checking if you were alive.
I'm alive, yes.
She put it away.
Thank you for the concern. And speaking of, how are we alive?
Well, I was hoping you might know. I haven't fallen out of the sky very often.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
What happened to my kin? Did you see her?
She must have run off without us. Seems like I'm more reliable than your own people.
Do you have any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
I feel like now that I've seen what she's carrying, I would want to keep her close by. You want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
All right, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
So, Shadowheart in tow, even if it's just for the time being. I suppose we'll wrap up this video by gathering our party. We could do that in episode 2, but it won't take that long. They're not very far away. And if you are following along at home or just seeing the game for the first time, this could also act as a guide on where to find them. So I'm going to hit Shift C. Everyone in the party is going to get down, and we are approaching some intellect devourers that we spotted here inside of the Nautiloid. Now that I'm very, very close, I'm going to turn on turn-based mode, and we're just going to walk up and flurry of blows one of the intellect devourers. That's going to start combat, give us a surprise round as well if we're lucky. It appears we may not be lucky. No, the intellect devourer moving towards us now from the far side of the room. That's totally fine. Clark's just going to move up with a melee attack and then an unarmed strike. Not going to use that second key point just yet. That allows us to be level 2 with all of the XP that we have accumulated. Now, I know I'm far enough away from this thing that it's going to have to dash to get to me, so we are not going to move any closer. By making it dash, we've basically given up its attack, and that was just by staying here. One of the best defensive moves we could have done. And just like that,
Perhaps our survival isn't such a distant prospect.
you fight well. Indeed he does. Indeed he does. Okay, we are level 2 now. This is going to be easy peasy for Monk. We don't have anything to choose. We're basically just getting stronger. More health, more key points. We have some bonus actions we can do, either defending ourselves, disengaging, or dashing away. And we have bonuses to our movement as long as we're not wearing armor. For Shadowheart, she's going to get 7 more HP, get Turn Undead, which is going to be very important in the near future, and just get some more spell slots. Her prepared spells could change a little bit, but all of that's looking fine to me. Let's continue. Now, inside of the Nautiloid itself, there is a break to the southwest. We're going to head out there. I'm going to come back and get this chest in just a moment, but I thought I heard something along the coast. Who could that be? Over there in the distance. He's so pale.
Hurry. I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Oh, absolutely. You see Clark crack his knuckles. Easily stand back.
There. Can you see it?
Perception failed. Oh, crap.
Shh. Not a sound. Not if you want to keep that darling neck of yours.
Now, I gotta be
And
honest.
you, keep your distance. No need for this to get messy.
I need him alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Whoa, I've never seen that.
Promises. But I have other business, I'm afraid. Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I?
Didn't you?
Not?
Melee attack, headbutt the elf. It is a dexterity check. We're pretty good at that. We roll a 21.
You son of a...
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
It's a mind flayer worm. It connected us.
The worm. Of course. That explains things somewhat. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
Apology accepted. I don't know if I would accept it that fast. For those of you that don't know, this is Walter speaking and not Clark. I hate vampires. My entire life, they have never set well with me. I don't like it. Not a fan. Not a fan. So it's going to be difficult for me to overcome this. But I know Astarion is a fan favorite. I want to learn more about his story. And I'm going to do my best to be fair to Astarion, okay? I'm going to do my best. I have great plans for him as a character, and I really hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Glad to see we're all caught up now. That's kind of snarky. I like that.
Indeed we are. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
I'm Clark. I punch things.
A pleasure. So, do you know anything about these worms?
I know we don't want them in our head.
No. Of that much we can be certain. These worms are already affecting me. I can feel it. Now, what to do about it?
And what's your plan exactly?
Well, getting out of here for a start. Then finding anyone who knows about these worms. I need an expert. Someone who knows how to control these things.
Control them? I want them gone!
Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
Okay. I need company for the road. Will you join me? If you bring that dagger out on me again, I'm gonna punch your face into the dirt.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
And we have one more jolly adventurer to pick up, and don't you worry, they are very close by. Just on the other side of the Nautiloid here. Just past the Mind Flayer with 3 HP. We'll just go ahead and
Be careful.
give that a quick hit. I feel like that was very in character for a Githyanki. Just fucking smash his head in with your staff. We see some dead goblins on the path, presumably coming here to loot the Nautiloid as it fell on the ground. But if we continue to walk past this, there's a very concerning noise and a portal against the wall.
What's going on with that group?
Approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
Touch the sigil.
A hand? Anyone?
Don't cut it off. Don't cut it off. Don't cut it off. So, Clark only has 8 strength. I have a plan for that in the future, but as of right now, it's only 8. So I'm going to try to pull the hand out. We need a 7. We do have guidance from Shadowheart. That will help. Let's see. 13. Plenty of room. We got that all day. A 7. My grandma could pull you out of there with a 7.
That's it! Go on! Keep pulling!
Hey, handsome.
Oh. Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this.
Do you think Githyanki are intimately familiar with the concept of a handshake? Clark didn't seem too familiar with what was going on. I'm usually better at this at introductions.
At magic. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Nautiloid as well.
Never mind the Nautiloid. How'd you get stuck in that stone?
I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall.
Me too.
As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with less than savory propulsion. Recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving of words and found myself on the other side, as it were. How about you? How did you survive the fall?
I just didn't take damage. No clue. No idea. I took control of the ship and landed it safely, and I saved the day. That's so funny. I'm not going to say that. Genuinely, I don't know how I didn't take damage.
Fair enough. But even so, I have the unfortunate suspicion your survival is still very much in jeopardy. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. Were you not?
Couldn't have phrased it more repellently myself.
No use sugarcoating it, is there?
Suppose not.
As a Githyanki, it's no news to you that this parasite will soon turn us into mind flayers.
Yes.
An outcome I'd rather like to avoid.
He didn't say
You don't have to be a
Ceramorphosis.
cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
Well, we have a cleric right
You seem
here.
to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
Well, I was going to ask you the same question, to be honest.
And it looks like we're both starved for answers. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
Sounds like a plan. You're welcome to join me, Gale of Waterdeep.
Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved, or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone.
You're very welcome.
Foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
I do have to wonder what happens if you don't pass the strength check there. That's very, very weird to think about. Well, we have a party put together. In the next episode, we're going to try to track down Lae'zel and maybe look into getting this parasite healed. This is only the very beginning of our journey, and it's going to be a great one. At least I hope so. If you guys are excited for what is to come, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to see everything that transpires in this series. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.